Thank you, Dr. Pandav. So, I have been asked to talk about using only clinical optic disc examination for progression. I'll just give brief idea. The progression means evaluation of disease from one state to other. That means from normal to acceleration of apoptosis to ganglion cell loss to undetectable RNFL changes to detectable RNFL changes. Each step is a progression itself. In lots of these things, there is no machines available to pick up, and there are various technologies available to pick up the progression. The visual field is one of them, that is functional and structural changes, that is imaging technologies. The clinical optic disc examination is also, we can put it along with optic disc evaluation. The imaging also does the optic disc and RNFL changes. But there are various speakers are going to talk about different imaging technologies, HRT, GDX and OCT, so I will not cover that. I'll just say why it is important, the progression, because glaucoma is a chronic progressive optic neuropathy without cure, and the only way we want to make sure that the visual field or the patient visual function remains stable for rest of the life, so they should not deteriorate. For that we have to pick up the progression or no progression, and that's why it's very important. The teetering intraocular pressure is not the thing we are looking for. Of course, we are treating always, all the medication is to reduce the IOP, but what we are looking is the patient's optic disc and visual field remain stable. So, if they are not remaining stable, then that the state is progression, and that we are trying to find out. Why structure is more important? Because various studies have shown that structural changes happens before visual field changes. And why? Because there is a redundancy theory. Basically, 30 to 50% of ganglion cell loss has to be lost before white on white pickup, visual field effect, white on white field. The swap and all may pick up early, but there are lots of other problems, and I am not going to talk about that. But structural changes are important to pick up early progression. So, visual field and structure. When I am talking about optic disc, I would just say that visual field is good. Dr. Pandav has covered everything, but there are lots of limitation of visual field progression. The patient has to learn visual field. In advanced glaucoma, the minor changes may not be picked up. Sometimes patient has so bad field that the small, subtle progression may not be picked up, and maybe because of the patient has not done the field properly. Then there are lots of false progression, unreliable field, changed pupillary diameter, patient's fatigue, patient unattentive, long-term fluctuations, media opacity. All these things you have to keep in mind when you are looking for visual field. So in isolation, visual field is very important, but you may miss some of the progression if you are looking only visual field. On other hand, if you rely only in imaging, then also there can be a problem, and I'll just give one example. This patient had visual field and HRT for 6 years. Field remains stable. This is glaucoma progression analysis, GCP, change probability, not the GPA. And HRT picked up progression as in the third, 1.5 year. But the patient for 6 years had no visual field damage. On diurnal variation, pressure fluctuation was less than 4, stable. So that's red disease, which can happen in progression also. That is a specific thing related to imaging technology. So you have to be careful about imaging technology also, and that's why the role of clinical optic disc evaluation coming picture. With these changes, that is only clinical thing, and this photograph, that is what I'll be talking about. Now there are lots of parameters. I'm not going to talk about that what are the parameters are important, but if you are looking the clinical examination, you must remember that the change in cup disc ratio over a period of year is definite sign of glaucoma progression. But these two gross, but a subtle cup disc ratio increase over a period of years is important. Now, this is one of the disc photograph, and you can see the vessels, inferior vessels, the bending here, and over after 3 years. You can see it is here. The inferior rim has thinned out, the cup disc ratio has increased, This is definite structural changes over a period of time, even if visual field is normal. In fact, you can see here the superior also is thinned out. So both superior rim and inferior rim is thinned. The cup disc ratio, which was from here to here, has increased from here to here. So increase in cup disc ratio and rim thinning are definite sign of progression. Now how to look for these clinical signs? What are the things we have? This is one more example, so I'll just come back to this. We have disc drawing, we have disc documentation, we have stereo disc photograph, and we have planimetry. I'll go and discuss each things, and I will also discuss the limitation because they are very important. This is one of my patients. I do disc drawing very diligently because that is what I was told. You can see I have drawn healthy neuroretinal rim, and this time 0.5. Patient came back, lost to follow-up, came back after 4 years, and this is what I have drawn now. Excavation, the visual field is normal, the pressures are high. This is this drawing to label progression. Now what is the problem of this drawing? They are very subjective, even in expert's hand. So yeah, you should do the disc drawing, but to rely only on disc drawing for the progression is not the ideal thing. The second thing is stereoscopic disc photograph. That means you take stereoscopic disc photograph every time, assess the patients, preferably with the software that is planimetry software. And you can assess the disc size, cup disc ratio, cup rim width, cup volume, rim volume. There are lots of, or rim surface area, individual clock over rim width. But the problem with the stereoscopic disc photograph is that every time you take the photograph, the illumination has to be good, proper, and you have to have time to go and see the disc photograph after the patient has come or during that patient's after the photograph. And that is most of the time difficult in clinical practice. So disc photograph is ideal research tool. In clinical practice, it's a very difficult way to assess the progression. The same thing, planimetry is good. Stereoscopic is the ideal way of assessing the progression, but as I said, in clinical practice, it's very difficult to follow up the patients. Every time you take photograph, go compare with the old photograph, look the changes. Most of the time impossible in busy practice. So it's a very good research tool, but not the ideal clinical tool. The same way planimetry, because planimetry also you have to take photograph, stereoscopic disc or monoscopic photograph, you have to mark, you have to have a software, you mark the disc area, out disc margin, cup margin, and the software will assess all the various parameters, but again you have to have time. So planimetry, stereoscopic disc photograph are ideal way of assessing the patient in research setup, but in primary clinical setup it's very difficult. So other soft sign, the disc hemorrhage, presence of new disc hemorrhage is definitely a soft sign of progression. You have to look carefully. Other is RNFL. Again, you have to have a rate-free photograph. Clinical examination, picking up rate, the nerve fiber loss is one thing, and picking up progression is another thing. So only disc examination for the progression in clinical practice using stereoscopic photograph, planimetry is difficult. They are ideal research setting. So in clinical setting, the disc drawing you should do, you should write down the parameter, but you should know that intra-observer variability of disc drawing is very high even among experts. So you cannot rely only on the disc photograph or disc drawing. But the clinical disc assessment is very important tool. That is the message I want to give, even to look for progression. You add visual field, you add imaging technology, you put all together along with the IOP. That is a multi-parameters approach, but do not miss clinical disc examination even for the follow-up. That is the message I want to give. I am not saying stereoscopic disc photograph is impossible, but they are difficult most of the time. So if you have stereoscope, the fundus camera, if you are taking photograph, please follow it up. That's a very good thing. But at least assess the clinically the disc and correlate with your field and imaging technology. Thank you.